Hillary Clinton was the First Lady during Bill Clinton's presidency, 2001 Senate member, 2009 Secretary of State, and is now the 2016 Democratic frontrunner for the presidential election against Donald Trump. But how did she manage to make it this far? In this documentary, we will go in depth for Clinton's journey that brought her all the way into being the final option for a Democratic presidential candidate. Hillary Clinton, born on October 26, 1947 in Chicago, Illinois, earned her first law degree from Yale University and married fellow law school graduate Bill Clinton in 1975. She served as the First Lady to Bill Clinton during his presidential run from 1993 to 2001. She then served as a U.S. Senator from 2001 to 2009, but in 2007 she mentioned her plans to run for presidency. During the 2008 Democratic primaries, she dropped out of the nomination when Barack Obama held the majority of the delegated vote. Obama appointed Clinton Secretary of State after winning the national election. She was sworn in as part of the cabinet in January 2009 and served until 2013. In the spring of 2015, she announced her plans to run again for the U.S. presidency, and in 2016, she became the first woman in the U.S. history to become the presidential nominee of a major political party.
I've started a new career recently. This is a fifth-generation company, which means a lot to me. This country was founded on hard work, and it really feels good to be a part of that.
I'm getting ready to do something too. I'm running for president.
Hillary announced her campaign with the release of a 2-minute video, the first 90 seconds of which were visuals of other people discussing how they wanted change. The video was strategically comprised of a variety of races, specifically working-class individuals. Hillary then gets on to say how everyday Americans need a champion, she says, and I want to be that champion. So I'm hitting the road to earn your vote because it's your time, and I hope you'll join me on this journey. Her video effectively depicts herself as a humble candidate campaigning to improve the life of average Americans of all nationalities, which plays on the stark contrast from Trump, who is often known to make racist comments. And from the start of this campaign up until now, many Americans see Hillary as the proper fit of our nation's representation.
Tonight we've reached a milestone in our nation's march toward a more perfect union. The first time that a major party has nominated a woman for president. Standing here as my mother's daughter and my daughter's mother, I'm so happy that this day has come.
Getting to immediate work on her election, Clinton wins the primaries of Alabama, Arkansas, Georgia, Massachusetts, Tennessee, Texas, and Virginia, all in early March 2016. Then she moves on to win the states of Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Illinois, Missouri, North Carolina, and Ohio, all in March 2016. However, presidential campaigning does not all take place during speeches or in person for that matter. A large portion of it has begun on the internet as well.
She's also been extremely active on social media ever since she announced her campaign, taking advantage of Twitter to fire witty and timely retorts to Trump that managed to portray her as on top of her game. She also utilizes Twitter to access large groups, particularly the youth demographic, because they share in her concern for social justice. She targets a lot of her messages towards women's rights, a very current issue that contrasts from Trump's comments about women. Her Twitter bio even states, wife, mom, grandma, women and kids advocate. Her advocating for women's rights has landed her a 23-point lead among women, according to ABC News.
As we get closer and closer to the election, I will continue to make sure that I stay connected with the people of this great nation. Oh, that's a good tweet, send that out. I will continue to personally relay information to each and every one of you, and I hope you continue to support me in all that I have done.
She has also provided significant shareable content on her social media page, unlike Bernie Sanders, which helps to spread her message, and her messages are often carefully crafted by professional webmasters to be as effective and well-worded as possible. Hillary has also paid close and meticulous attention to fundraising. One of her tactics was to use a shortened URL when she posts shareable content, which links to a trackable sign-up page. This allows the campaign to identify potential donors and volunteers by the issues that brought them into the campaign, and then they ultimately use that data to buy targeted programmatic advertising buys and to send super targeted emails to these voters in the future.
Because of matters like this, however, that people have fallen to actually hate Hillary.
I think Hillary Clinton should be in prison. That's all. I mean, she's committed crimes. She's an awful human being. She believes for everything that's wrong. Would you like me to elaborate?
If you'd like.
I mean, her whole economic policy puts the burden on the people and not on companies unlike Trump's. And her immigration policies suck. I mean, we're never going to have open borders, ever. That defeats the purpose of having our own country, and we're losing our American spirit. So, go America. Dan.
I have great respect for women. Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
So for the record, you're saying you never did that?
I said things that, frankly, you hear these things are said.
Donald Trump has continually shown us how arrogant, how rude he is to the American people. We need change. What would he do if he were to be president?
You'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
I made a mistake, but I'm admitting to it. I learned from my mistakes, whereas you just continued to blame others and refuse to admit that you've done wrong. I'm going to be America's champion. I will be the next president of the United States of America. I am what America needs, not you.
A large factor of Hillary's campaign focuses on undermining the campaign of Donald Trump. Throughout his time in the political game, Trump has made quite the impression on the general public with his words and actions, whether they regard racism, sexism, homophobia, or even threats. Understanding that there are people that would vote for her simply because of the reason that they do not want Trump to be in office, she spends a lot of time targeting his mistakes and making sure that everyone thinks she is the better option than him. After over a year of millions of Americans waiting at the edges of their seat to find out what this election will bring and who it will come down to, we find ourselves only days away from the actual election. Hillary Clinton, though she is both heavily liked and disliked as much as her opponent Donald Trump, has shown to have a broad knowledge on the topic of president and has proven herself to be very experienced in the game of politics long ago. It is because election time is so close that we must take into deep consideration if Clinton herself is the right choice to be in office. Many would say yes because of her broad experience of being in the Senate for many years as well as working as the Secretary of State. Now that she is the last option as the Democratic Party's representation, she seems to have a good chance of winning the election altogether and becoming the next president of the United States.